Alrighty, guys. So it's been a couple of days since we've talked about SoFi stock, and quite frankly, it's because nothing's really been going on in terms of the price action. We're still stuck at $7 per share, and we're actually down a little bit today, about 10 cents, down 1.4%. And yesterday, we hit a high of, where was that? $7.27. And like I said, guys, there's not much that's been going on, but there actually is some stuff that's been going on in my portfolio around SoFi, as I did finally add more to my position. You guys know I initiated my SoFi position about, I'm losing track of time now, maybe 4 months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Actually, no, not that long ago. Probably around 3-4 months ago. Either way, guys, I initially bought around $6.80-90, bought some more in the low sevens, then it ran all the way to $10. That's actually before it ran up is when I bought. And then we collapsed yet again. I think I nibbled a little bit more on the drop off before, or rather after, the last earnings report. And now I bought again after this earnings report, which you guys remember came out less than a week or 2 weeks ago. When was that, guys, exactly? On, I think, the 29th of April. Either way, we saw the earnings come out. The stock went to $8.50. Then we collapsed down to $6.60. And as we've kind of seen the dust settle a little bit, we're consolidating a bit post earnings, I decided to add a little bit more, right? Nothing crazy. It's not like this is my biggest position ever, right? But I am building it out. The goal is to continue to build it out, like I've said, over the course of the last couple of months, in this $7 range, high sixes, right? That's where I'm looking to really build SoFi out. And again, it hasn't done anything really since they reported earnings, and pretty much all of May, it's done nothing, right? You guys can see it's been pretty flat, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. We don't want to see stocks going crazy up and down, left and right. Well, I guess not left and right, but up and down. You guys get the point. Sometimes you don't want to see that all the time. Sometimes you just want stocks to chill the heck out, and that's kind of what we're getting in, SoFi stock. But one thing worth mentioning is we still have the descending triangle here, which could still play out. Potentially, we could still see this go back into the sixes, low sixes, mid sixes, right? Still possible, although we're not getting the dump off quite yet. It is something that I'm watching, though, right? And honestly, if this thing does play out, we start dumping back into the sixes, low mid sixes, I'm going to be buying even more SoFi. And mind you, this is not a trade, not even a midterm, investment in terms of buying and holding for a year or two, whatever, you consider midterm, whatever, right? This is a longer term play. I'm looking 5+ years out for SoFi stock, and who knows? It might work out. It might not. It is what it is. But I'm buying more right here, guys. And I just wanted to tell you all in this video, as I bought more officially yesterday, right? I'm pretty sure I bought, low sevens. Pretty much, low sevens, I believe. I forget the exact dollar value. I probably should have wrote it down before making this video. Either way, it is what it is, guys. And yeah, I'd love to know what you guys are doing post earnings after we saw SoFi go from $7 to $8.50. Now right back to about $7. What are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments. And I know what somebody's doing out there, Anthony Noto. Let me see if he bought before the earnings. Either way, it might have been after, actually. No, it was after. We can see here, Anthony Noto, the CEO of, you guessed it, SoFi, right? He bought more, and he didn't buy like 1 million shares or something crazy, but he did buy another almost 30,000 shares, it looks like, here after earnings. If I zoom in a little bit, you guys can see right here, Anthony Noto. You guys see that name? Anthony Noto, again, he's the CEO of the company. You guys see the trade date right here, May 3rd, 2024. Again, they reported on April 29th. So this is post earnings, which is a great sign. You'd love to see the CEO buying anytime, especially after earnings, right? So he bought another 28,775 shares at $6.90. And you guys can see that increased his position by less than 1%. So really, it wasn't that big of a move at all. The guy already owns over 8 million shares, But hey, he's still buying, putting his money where his mouth is, and he bought $200,000 of the stock, which I'm loving it. I'm loving it, guys. And it looks like the last time he purchased was back in November. Wow. So he hasn't bought the stock at all this year up until now, which is a good sign. So I love Noto. I think he's, leading the ship in the right direction. And clearly, he owns 8 million shares. Do the math on that, guys. Let's say the average cost for fun is $10, which I doubt it is, but let's just say it is. Let's do $8 million, or 8 million shares rather, times 10. That number is a whopping $80 million. So this guy could have, $80 million of the stock, whatever, it comes out to when it comes to his average cost. I don't know exactly what that is, but yeah, he owns a lot of SoFi stock, and he bought even more, which is pretty good. And I like seeing that. Whenever I'm in a stock, guys, whenever I'm invested in a company, I want to see the CEO's money, in the stock. He's got to have, or she's got to have, skin in the game in terms of actually having a large amount of their own money in the stock, in the company, because that creates incentive, right? Think about it. If you're a CEO of ABC company, right, and you own 0 shares of the stock, who gives a crap? I mean, obviously you care, but in terms of the company's performance, but you're going to care way less, in my opinion, than somebody that owns a lot of the stock, 50% of the company, 80% of the company, right? It makes sense. It only makes sense. Follow the money, right, guys? So, yeah, that's a quick breakdown here on SoFi, guys, as the markets closed about 35 minutes ago, and we closed red on the day, down 10 cents, down 1.4%. So, yeah, I'm long SoFi. I'd love to know what you guys are doing with the stock. Let me know down below in the comments. And in terms of the overall stock market today, it wasn't the best day, or rather the most eventful day. I guess it was a pretty good day. We did see some green across the board except for the NASDAQ, but really it was, a boring kind of day, which in my next video, we're going to break down earnings and a bunch of, companies I'm watching right now. But it looks like the NASDAQ ended up breaking even as the Russell went up 1.2, or rather 0.2%, not 1.2, 0.2%. We had SPY, let's see here, up 0.1% on the day. Same with the Dow Jones, as the VIX went down 2%. So the VIX, believe it or not, guys, which it's not that hard to believe, the VIX is now down 8 to 9 points from where it just was literally 2-3 weeks ago. We're down 40% on the VIX, guys, which is nuts. So yeah, I'm sure you all have realized by now, but volatility could rise very quickly, and it could get squashed just as quickly, right? Even faster sometimes. So yeah, we're pretty much right back on the lows, or at the lows on the VIX, which we'll see how this, pans out over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Pretty boring day. We had some other green out there, or we had some green in terms of stocks. Netflix went up a little bit. What was it? Not even 1%, or right around 1.5%. Okay, so Netflix went up a little bit. It looks like here. Google, which I love. Google's actually my biggest individual stock holding, so I'm loving it. It looks like we're riding that moving average. Looks like the uptrend's continuing on Google. So yeah, what do you guys think on SoFi, the markets? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Come on. And if you want to check out my Patreon, check out the link down below, the QR code right here, or go to stocksurfast.com/Patreon. I'm actually building out a $100 portfolio, and I've been doing that for over a year now on Patreon. So if you join that, you get to see all the moves I'm making, the buys, the sells, the holdings, all of that good stuff, and of course the returns, which right now we're crushing the markets over the past year. So check out that link down below, guys, and you can join the Discord chat on there, see my charts and ideas throughout the day, all that good stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you in the Patreon. Cheers.